All right, everyone, it is now 6 o'clock, and we have a quorum present. I'd like to call the meeting of the Administration Public Works Committee to order. Our first order of business is citizen comment.
I'm sorry. I don't think we have enough for quorum. What, 3? Okay.
We have 3, 4, we have 6 commenters signed up. The first one is James Engelman.
Hello. I'm James Engelman from the 5th Ward, 24 Brown, and my comment is we accepted donations from Bally's Food Store to Robert Crown, New Crown Center, and named a hallway after them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. Our next commenter is Shayla Hunt.
So I'm from Family Focus, and I wrote something that I would like to share. So there's 2 questions. These are the questions. What does Family Focus mean to you, and what will it mean? What will Family Focus mean to you if it was gone? Family Focus provides a fun learning atmosphere and environment where one can be their true self and feel comfortable. If Family Focus was gone, I would think of it as a wonderful memory that will fill our hearts with joy and passion. Every time we hear of it and think of it, we will always remember Family Focus, not just as a building, but as a friend.
Thank you, Shayla. Next up is Chase Johnson.
Pardon me, Bill, are you capturing this? I think this is okay, good stuff.
My name is Chase Johnson, and these are my thoughts on Family Focus. Honestly, when it comes to Family Focus, I don't know where to start. Talking about Family Focus makes me really happy because Family Focus has given me many opportunities that most adults don't even get to have. I'm so grateful for Family Focus, and if someone were to take it away from me, I would be devastated. I have gained so much confidence from this place. I'm not afraid to go on stage and present anymore. I have emotional confidence, and there is this amazing, beautiful woman who influences me every day to keep persisting and stay motivated no matter what. I have had many situations when I wanted to give up, but I didn't because of her. I have had so many opportunities here, such as this one. So I would just like to thank Family Focus and everyone there, and also thank you guys for your time.
Thank you. Next up is Devon Cravens. Did I say it right, or is it Devon?
Devon.
Sorry about that.
Hello, my name is Devon Cravens, and I'm from Family Focus. And first, I just want to thank you for the tickets to Noise Cultural Center. Today, I would like to tell you what Miss Joanne's class means to me. 1, Miss Joanne is the most important part of the class. If she wasn't there, I wouldn't have any interest in her class. Miss Joanne provides us snack, lunch, and dinner. She also takes us to events, plays, and she signs us up for sports and activities. She even opens up the center when she can be relaxing. 2, if Miss Joanne's class didn't exist, I don't know what I would do. Miss Joanne and the program are an important part of my life. The program is fun, structured, and affordable. Thank you.
All right. Our next speaker is Ariel. Ariel.
Hi, I'm Ariel Balcom. I want to say one thing that I like about the class that I'm in right now, with all these beautiful kids and all these beautiful teachers that are come. The one thing that I like about the class that I'm in is because Ms. Joanne, because she's the most powerful and the most powerful woman that I ever knew in my life. If it wasn't for Miss Joanne and my auntie and grandma, I wouldn't have been in her class. The second thing that I like is making new friends in that class. There's a bunch of nice people in there, and I just want to say, Ms. Joanne, she's the best teacher that I like, that I love very, very much. I love her like my own grandma, and she is my black queen.
Thank you. Next up is Kai King.
If I didn't have Family Focus, then I would be just at home doing nothing. And without Miss Joanne, then I would I wouldn't have as much help with my homework.
And our final speaker tonight, Lonnie Wilson.
Oh, wow. You're going to make me follow them, right?
It was your choice, man.
Right. Well, what's really interesting is I was Joanne's partner at Family Focus for 20 years. And I have a narrative that I'd like to talk about. Prioritize losing is what we're doing in my neck of the woods. I'm a fifth generation African-American Fifth Ward person. And I've watched as the assets in my community get less and less priority and they disappear. At one time, there was an African-American hospital, community hospital. We entrusted that hospital to the North Shore Health Systems. It disappeared. We've now entrusted our old foster school to Family Focus Incorporated. And if you hear these kids, they're talking about the soul of Family Focus, which is Joanne and the people who work there. Family Focus Inc. was entrusted with a building that they didn't maintain, they got for $1, and they pretty much just used it like a piggy bank, and now the price is in the millions. Where in the world can I put up $1 and get $1 million? Please tell me where that can happen, because I need for it to happen. But I don't want to, I'm not here to push at Family Focus or make a mess about it. But what I want to say is that we've got to put priorities on saving communities that are worth savings. The village that I grew up in was so special, I can't even explain it to you. I once had a discussion about policing with a person in Evanston. I never saw the police because the men and women in my neighborhood were my police. If I got the police called on Holden Court when I was their age, it'd be 10 adults outside asking me, Lonnie, what did you do? And we've gotten to the point now that village and that cohesive cultural connection is gone. And while we're prioritizing $20 million for Robert Crown, and we've got a big push to save an old building, we're not using those same priorities to make sure that those kids right there get the feeling of a village that I had. I could go to sleep on Holden Court and not worry about a thing. And they need that same safety. And we got to prioritize those children and their futures, because if we don't, I remember when she was a little girl at Family Focus. And I just want to make a little statement, a little kind of to separate Family Focus Incorporated and Family Focus Our Place. Our Place was always the soul of Family Focus. And what happened was, Inc. took a building that had been boarded up because Evanston had decided they wanted to diversify the school system. So what did they do? They didn't send white kids to foster. They sent 1,600 African-American children, stood out on bus so that some white kid could have the feeling of diversity in his life. But they destroyed a school, and that school needs to be returned, and it needs to be funded. If you put $20 million in the Fifth Ward instead of $20 million to help tear it apart, we might get somewhere. But I know I'm a little old, so I'll just kind of roll away now. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully, are you going to end?
One more comment?
Go get them.
Say your name, please.
My name is Araya Shelton. I am one of Ms. Joanne's students. I don't know what I would do without Miss Joanne. Miss Joanne is my hero. She protects me. My mom loves her. They both laugh together. I don't know what I would do without her. She's my hero. I love her, and if Miss Joanne's thing was gone, that would break my heart. I love it. That would make my heart black.
Thank you. All right, so that's the conclusion of citizen comment. Our next item of business is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting, March 11th, 2019. Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, next up, consent calendar. Item A1 is the payroll from February 18th, 2019 through March 3rd, 2019, in the amount of $2,726,667.51, and the payroll from March 4th, 2019 through March 17th, 2019, in the amount of $2,716,547.89. The bills list, item A2, is $8,151,610.90. Credit card activity, not including Amazon purchases, for the period ending February 26, 2019, is $189,370.79. I'm just going to go through the consent agenda. If anybody's got one they want to pull off, let me know. Item A9 is a contract with J.A. Johnson Paving Company for pavement patching. That's for action. A10, contract with G&L Contractors for 2019 debris hauling. A11, contract with G&L Contractors for purchase of granular materials. A12, contract with Patriot Pavement Maintenance for crack sealing services. A13, contract with Precision Pavement Markings for pavement markings. A14, contract with Herrera Landscape and Snow Removal for the 2019 streetscape and rain garden landscape maintenance. A15 is the 2019 Lakefront Concession Contract Renewal with Crave Concessions, LLC. A16 is an agreement with Evanston Township High School to supply lunches for the 2019 Summer Food Program. A17 is a contract with Elevator Inspection Service Company Incorporated for City of Evanston Elevator Inspection Program. A18 is purchase of 4 vehicles for operations at, let's yank that one, sorry. A20 is the Great Merchant Grant Program, Hill Arts Business Association. A28 is increasing the number of Class T liquor licenses for Halim Time and Glass Banquet Hall, located at 1560 Oak Avenue. Alderman Wilson recommends suspension of the rules for introduction and action at the April 8th City Council meeting. Item A29 is increasing the number of Class D liquor licenses for Urest Dining Services located at 1560 Sherman. Alderman Wilson recommends suspension of the rules for introduction and action at the April 8th, 2019 City Council meeting. A30 is increasing the number of Class T liquor licenses for Urest Dining Group located at 1560 Sherman. Alderman Wilson requests suspension of the rules for introduction and action at the April 8th, 2019 City Council meeting. And item A31 is to approve the construction of a local improvement known as Evanston Special Assessment number 1524. This is for introduction.
Alderman Sufferton, can I just suggest, particularly for A31, you read the streets?
Sure, man. That is allowing the paving of the alley north of Simpson Street and east of McDaniel, and that's through the special assessment process.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Do I have a motion?
Move approval. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. And so now we'll circle back and go to purchase of vehicles, A18. I just got a couple questions about what we're buying, what it does, and why they're needed. Sure. So, you know, all these vehicles are expensive, but they're necessary for the services that we're expected to provide. Could you just run down what they are, what they do?
Mm-hmm. Chairman, members of the committee, Assistant City Manager, Sean Cholik, Fleet and Facilities Manager. The vehicles that we're replacing, one of them is a pickup truck that's utilized by forestry for their daily operations. It's going to pull a stump grinder and help with all of what they need to have done out there in our parks and in our parkways. The next vehicle is a 14-foot dump spreader, which is used in streets, the streets division's operations. It's going to be used for a number of different things that they do throughout their daily tasks. used for dumping, dumping any kind of materials, but also used as a spreader for salt and snow operations. Next vehicle, 719, is a 11-yard rear-loading refuge truck used by Recycling and Environmental Maintenance for their daily operations. And the final vehicle is vehicle M4, which is a police motorcycle used for traffic operations and used during Northwestern games for crowd control and for traffic.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions on Alderman Rainey?
Are we buying the motorcycle?
Yes, we will be buying the motorcycle. We've looked into leasing options for it, but it didn't seem to give us any savings, so we're opting to purchase it outright.
But we have been leasing them.
We have been leasing them, yes, in the past.
All right, excellent. John, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sure thing.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, and that is approved. Items for consideration. Alderman Rainey, will you do item A3?
We move back up to,
A4 is more your style.
A4?
How about Alderman Simmons, will you do item A3, please?
Sure. A3, Amazon credit card activity ending February 26, 2019, $6,998.09 for action.
okay.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I abstain, one abstention. On a vote of 3 to 0 to 1, that item passes. Alderman Rainey, item A4.
A4 is a contract with Chicagoland Paving, Inc. for the 2019 parking lot improvement projects. One is 717 Howard Street, and the other is parking lot 51, Talmadge Park. Staff recommends City Council authorize the manager to execute a contract for the 2019 parking lot improvement project with Chicagoland Paving in the amount of $422,500. Funding will be provided from the parking fund in the amount of $410,500 and the sewer fund in the amount of $12,000. If funding becomes available in the Howard Ridge TIF at a later date, $180,500 will be reimbursed to the parking fund. Details, summary of the funding is in our packet. This is for action. I move approval.
Second.
All right, is there any?
Is this the one, Dave? This is the one where we have the corrected information in the packet? I didn't think so. Which item is, this is the one. So I just wanted to make a couple comments. I've spoken to the city manager.
Alderman Braithwaite.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alderman. So originally, if you look through this packet, you'd see that they were asking for a waiver, and I thought that this was a very, right? Just make sure. I want to.
Remind me what the waiver's for? LEP or what?
I just want to make sure the information that I have in front of me doesn't match up with the item, so I want to make sure that I'm commenting on the right item. So that's why I tagged Director Stomek.
A4.
Am I correct?
You are correct, and it's on page 97 of the packet. It shows an MWEBE waiver request indicating that they only had 9.7% utilization of the 25% goal. That is an error when they submitted their bid. Somebody failed to show their largest subcontractor amount, close to $50,000. So when they submitted their bid, they were really more at like 21.3%. And they also made a note on that indicating that there was another minority firm that they planned to use. They just didn't have their documentation to show that they were a minority firm at the time that the bid was opened. They have since provided that to us, and at this point in time, they are fully complying with the 25% goal for MWEB utilization.
Yeah. So again, just the reason for calling it out is two reasons. Just A, we all read the packet, and myself, Alderman Simmons, serve on the MWEB committee. And so when I see a high number like this in a company asking for a waiver, I get concerned. And
rightfully so.
I just want to say thank you to you and staff for getting the corrected, information. So somebody else may read this and not know. So I hope at some point we can see a correction in the memo, just so folks that pay attention to this, because they do, know that we're doing our job. And the reason that I highlighted is later on we're going to be voting on Robert Crown. And again, that is another issue that we're paying very close attention to in terms of the compliancy, right?
Yes.
So thank you very much. I just wanted to let you know that.
All right, the item's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm a no. Motion passes 3-1. Returning quickly to item A18, which had been moved and seconded but not voted on. Okay. All right. So we need a motion on item A18 for the purchase of 4 vehicles.
Move approval.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. That one passes 4-0. On to item A5, Alderman Braithwaite.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move item A5 as contract with Hector and Company, Inc. for the Emerson Street traffic signals project. Staff recommends City Council authorize City Manager to execute this contract for the Emerson Street traffic signals bid number 1904, and that's in the dollar amount of $968,928.90. That's coming out of our CIP fund.
Second, did you? And a second?
Is there a second? All right.
Second.
Alderman Ruth Simmons, are there any questions? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. That passes 4-0. Alderman Rainey, item A6.
A6. This A6 is, let me get back up to it. I'm skipping around here a little. Sorry about that. Item A6. Just give me 1 second. Sorry. I'm using the council agenda, which is a big mistake here. But let me get to A6. A6, here we go. This is A6 is a contract with Terra for Emerson Street traffic signal construction engineering. Staff is recommending that we authorize the manager to execute an amendment to the existing agreement with Terra in the not-to-exceed amount of $103,778 to provide the Phase 3 construction services for the Emerson Street Traffic Signal Modernization Project. Funding will be provided from the Capital Improvement Program Fund 2019 general obligation bonds in the amount of $39,778 and from fees from the public benefit for the planned unit development located at 1890 Maple, from the public benefit from the planned unit development located at 1890 Maple Avenue in the amount of $64,000. A summary of this funding can be found in our packet. This is for action. I move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any questions?
Anybody?
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. 4-0 on that one. I will take item A7 as a contract with Landmark Contractors for the Main Street Corridor Improvement Project in the amount of $2,062,822.08, and this is for action.
Second.
Are there any questions? No. All right. On that one, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is also 4-0. Item A8 is a contract with Stanley Consultants Incorporated for Phase 3 construction services for the Main Street Corridor Improvement Project in the not-to-exceed amount of $269,282, and this is for action. Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Nay. All right, so that's 4-0 also. Item A19. Alderman Ruth Simmons.
Sure. A19, staff recommends City Council authorize the city manager to execute a collective bargaining agreement with the International Association Firefighters Local 742, effective January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2022. It's for action.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 4-0. Alderman Braithwaite, item A21.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move item A21, it's Resolution 21-R19, authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute an easement agreement with Evanston Custer LLC.
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion of this item? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 4-0 on item A21. Alderman Rainey, item A22.
This is Resolution 25-R19, approving the settlement and release of all claims in Paul Caldwell versus the City of Evanston et al. I move approval.
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion of this item? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 4-0 as well. Item A23, Alderman Ruth Simmons.
A23, staff recommends City Council adoption of Resolution 20-R19, authorizing the city manager to execute a 10-year memorandum of understanding with Friends of Robert Crown Center. The MOU memorializes the relationship between the City of Evanston and the volunteer-led fundraising entity and details how the funds raised by FRCC are applied to the Robert Crown Community Center project construction and debt services for action.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes 4-0. Item A24 is Resolution 27-R19, authorizing the city manager to execute a gift agreement with Wintrust Bank for a donation to the new Robert Crown Community Center. Staff recommends City Council adoption of Resolution 27-R19, authorizing the city manager to execute a naming rights gift agreement with Wintrust Bank, 70 West Madison Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60602, for a field and a multipurpose room at the new Robert Crown Community Center. This is for action. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes 4-0. Alderman Braithwaite, item A25.
I'd be more than happy to. Resolution 31-R19, it's execute a gift agreement with Valley Produce for the donation to the new Robert Crown Community Center. It's for action.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Valley for their wonderful, generous gift.
All right. Seeing no additional discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes 4-0. Alderman Rainey, item A26.
A26. We're being asked to recommend approval to the council of Resolution 35-R19, increasing the current debt limit from $150 million to $160 million to cover the proposed 2019 A and B bond issues and any unexpected changes as discussed in the corresponding transmittal memorandum. Unabated debt is estimated to be slightly over the $150 million at the end of 2019, including the proposed 2019 issues. This is for action, and I move approval.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I'm not in support, so just.
Okay. Is Satish here, or is anyone from city staff here who can walk us through what we're doing here? Thank you, Mr. Desai. Appreciate it.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the committee. If you look at the memo, we have mentioned that, okay, where we are right now, as of today, the unabated debt, which is tied into the debt limit, is around $134 million. And we expect to issue around $23 million. That's the par value of both the bonds, 2019A and 2019B. And on December 1st, we would roughly pay $7.2 million in the unabated principal amount. So at the end of 2019, we expect it to be 150,581,000. So it's a little over that, and that's why I suggested of $160 million to cover any unexpected. Obviously, it won't be that big change. It might be if we restructure for any of our, financial purpose, or it might be maybe $1 million, $1.5 million, or $2 million, but just for the safety purpose. So, I mean, if the member's not comfortable or the city council feels like, yeah, we can change it to maybe 152 million, 153 million, something like that.
All right. Any other questions? Because I think adjusting it downward to 152 million, if that isn't a problem, I'd like to make a motion that we change that.
I'd second that.
From 160 to 152.
Or even 55? I mean,
to give us.
What are the chances?
Very less, yeah. I mean, that's why I asked for 152. I won't say, yeah, let's keep it 151, because sometimes for the financial gains, working with the financial advisor and all this, while as a part of restructuring. So I think 155, it's up to the city council and the members.
So I would.
If we don't need 160, then we shouldn't do it.
So thank you. I don't support any increase because of obvious reasons that we talk about in every committee, in every community meeting. Affordability is something that is getting out of hand, and any amount above what we already have voted on and have financially prepared ourselves for as a city is too much of a burden for too many of our residents. And I would ask that we work harder to manage our budget and the services that we provide, and think more creatively about private-public partnerships so that we can stand firm on where we're at and not increase this limit.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion that we adjust the number from 160 to 152.
Second.
Second. And so before, I guess my question, just for clarification, I'm in support of the motion. Will that interfere with any ongoing projects that we are currently involved with?
This is, as you see, that this has nothing to do with, we just provide for that
I just want you to say it.
So,
I just want you to say it publicly.
Right. So 152 million, yes, that would be fine.
There you have it.
Okay. So that motion has been moved and seconded. So we're voting on the motion to change it to $152 million. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Okay. That motion passes 3-1.
Alderman Sufferman, is there any way, I don't know what the public comments is going to look like at City Council, but if we can add this to either city manager or the mayor's announcements, just so people know coming in the door that we've reduced it. I've received a couple of emails on this matter, so we made an action. I want to make sure that it carries over to City Council.
Mr. City Manager?
And I don't want to wait until consent agenda. Thank you.
Certainly. So if the committee would like me to report out that it will be 152 is the new number, we can do that at the top of the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So we've voted on the amendment. Do we need to vote on the resolution now? It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of the amended resolution?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
No.
Okay, so it passes 3-1 with Alderman Marie Simmons voting no. All right, item A27, Alderman Rainey.
Yes. A27 is introduction of ordinance. A27 provides for the issuance of one or more series of not to exceed $18 million general obligation corporate purpose bonds, series 2019A, to finance the construction and equipment of a new Robert Crown Community Center, ice complex, and library center, and one or more series of not to exceed $18 million general obligation corporate purpose bonds, series 2019B, for capital improvements of the city of Evanston, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing the execution of one or more bond orders in connection therewith, providing for levy and collection of a direct annual tax for the payment of the principal and interest on said bonds and authorizing and directing the sale of said bonds at public competitive sale. The ordinance will be adopted and signed at the City Council meeting on April 22nd, 2019. The final terms of the bond will be approved by the designated officers under the ordinance after the bond sale, which is scheduled for May 16, 2019, by completion of the bond order as authorized by the bond ordinance. This is for introduction, and I move introduction.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I just have a presentation, so I'll just go ahead with a real brief presentation about both the bonds. So this is the amount. Yeah, the project cost for both is $15 million. 2019 A Robert Crown Center, $15 million, and the capital improvement plan, which includes general CIP and some of the enterprise fund and the library. So it totals $15 million. This is the Robert Crown project, like a brief summary of how we are like expecting based on the numbers from the financial advisors, that you see that par value would be around $13.2 million. So the other amount is coming through what we call offering premium. The rate, you see that right there, 3.654, the total interest cost. Principal amortization would begin in 2022. So this kind of coincides with the last bond issue. So we are like moving up by 1 year for paying the principal for this bond. So they stay on kind of aligned. And obviously you see the last date is December 2043 to match the 2018 series bonds. These are both the series. 2018, we issued the bond. 2019, the estimated numbers right here. And last year, we issued the bonds for $24.3 million. And this time, we expect the principal amount to be around $13.2 million. The additional debt service for the new bonds, 2019, you would notice, starting next year, it would be around $664,000, and once we start paying principal in 2022, it would be around a little over $1 million. Robert Crown project, I did this thing like last year. I did it when we issued the bonds. What would be the impact on the property tax for the people? And these are again before any exemptions and all that. But like if you have a 100,000 home, last year we said that okay, they would have an increase of $10.82 based on the debt service. Then we put in the additional amount of $7.55 because of the 2019 levy. And once we got to the 2022, there is an additional $10.81 increase. So it shows the impact on the property tax for the Robert Crown bond. This is 2019 B capital improvement. Again, as I said, the $15 million is the project, but the par value would be around $13.2 million. The remaining money coming out of the premium amount. Interest cost is around 3.40, and principal amortization begins in 2020. This is the estimated debt service for that one. You would see that first year was $315,000 because once we issue the bonds, but roughly it's like a level debt service of around $1 million starting 2020. Capital improvements, some of those major projects, and you would see that in our packet, the whole list of all the capital projects are listed there. But this is by the category. Transportation leads by 3.9 million. Facilities have a 2.4, makes a total of 9.2. The capital improvements, some of those, what's going on the library side, they are contributing $1.25 million to the Robert Crown, and the rest of that, some of their maintenance projects. Waterfront side, some of the projects totaling $2.9 million, and the sewer contribution to the Robert Crown stormwater detention of $1 million. This is the debt limit resolution. We will change it now to $152 million instead of $162 million. And you see that unabated principal right now at $134. We added $23 million for the new bond issue. We subtracted by the December 1, 2019 payment of $7.2 million. So we estimate the amount to be around $150.5 million. That's any questions?
All right. No,
Thank you.
Seeing none, thank you for the presentation. All right. Item A27 has been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
That passes 3-1 with Alderman Marie Simmons voting no. I will take item A32, ordinance 29019, updating City Code Section 10-4-16-2A, the vehicle parking permits. Staff recommends City Council adoption of ordinance 29019, amending City Code Section 10-4-16, changing the payment for parking permits from quarterly to monthly and allowing for the stickless enforcement of the city-operated surface lots. This is for introduction. Is there a second? All right, is there any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes 4-0. Items for discussion. Does any member of the committee have?
You know, I do, and so I'll direct this to Storley, and maybe for our next agenda, I've received a complaint from some of the business owners that park alongside Quartet on Benson through the other block. And so one of the things that I don't know if we're aware of, that Northwestern purchased that parking lot. So now there's a large number of the spaces that used to be, that the public used to have access, are now denied. And within that strip, the parking restriction is for 2 hours. And so just for that one area where there used to be public parking, it's now removed. And one of the feedback from the realtor's office is that they're starting to see agents make moves to leave that office because they cannot extend the parking. So I'm requesting for that specific zone. And I don't know if that's something to the members of the committee we would deal with here. If it has to go through parking, I feel like it's a simple revenue issue where they just want to be able to extend the parking for at least 2 hours.
Thank you, Alderman Braithwaite. That's something that you could make a referral to the Parking Transportation Committee, and we could handle that probably at our next scheduled meeting in either April or May. So just for clarification, you're referring to Benson between University and all the way to Church, or just to?
Just to Clark. I'll follow up with an email, but it was brought to my attention today.
Certainly. Actually, I was just out there today with the CTA. They own a portion of that parking. We can certainly look at giving some more options. When I was there, it was at lunch hour. It was not full. We were discussing why that was the case. If we could offer some more flexibility to people, then we could.
And when they move, they cannot come back into the zone. That's the big sticking point.
Right.
Yep.
Sounds like a good idea. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alderman Rainey.
Yes. Well, I'm thinking about it. We approved a lot of projects tonight.
Yeah.
And I have never served on the MWEB committee, and I've not kept up with how the LEP program works.
Sure.
I'm wondering, how do people know how to apply for jobs on these kind of projects?
Right. And
I mean, do they have to watch the council meeting, or?
Oh, so the people.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, and then please, Alderman Simmons is now the current chair. So historically, the people who are in the trades know to go to the various job sites.
Right.
So they're not waiting to see a job listing in the Evanston Review. When a crane goes up a job site for our local residents who live here, they know to go around to the variety of wherever the work sites are. And so the nice thing about our program is we work in, tandem with the bids as they come in. So not only do they know, but then through our staff, Sharon Johnson, she provides them a list that goes to the direct hiring manager. So they have a list of all of our LEP candidates who choose to sign up for it. They also know what trades they're in, and whether or not they're a card-carrying union member.
You have to be a union member to be in the LEP program?
No.
Oh. Well, guess what? Not everybody knows that, because I talked to somebody the other day who was unemployed, and when I read the packet, I thought, oh my God, this is perfect for this person. Yeah. And I called them up, and they said, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. And so not everybody knows. And I think we ought to make some infomercial about this program?
So I would say that Sharon and also the help of the outreach team do a pretty good job of spreading the word. So when you run into someone that is not aware,
that's what I'm looking for. What should I do?
You should tell them to contact Sharon Johnson. She'll put them on the list. When there is a eligible project that comes up, she gives this list over to the developer for them to do outreach to the local employees.
Really?
And they work hard to try to meet our diversity goals on that list. But we could do more to come up with a shareable, an electronic shareable. So could we have an electronic shareable to go out? If you are skilled in the trades, this is the process to get on the list.
Okay. Certainly, we could work with our communications team to develop something like that.
I've also made an aldermanic request on the bills list today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But so yeah.
I guess you asked specifically about the 5,000.
I want to know what's happened so far.
Right. So we are in, so just a little bit of context to Alderman Rainey's question. So for the past year, we've spent a good majority of time, myself and Alderman Room Simmons, Alderman Rainey, on looking at our City of Evanston's 20K and underspend. So I don't have those numbers in front of me, but just rough math, and this is important to note. So out of the $13 million that we spend out of our 360 million some odd budget, out of the 13 million, only 1.3 is spent locally. So when you think about, the impact that particularly our commercial businesses are having with their increased taxes, only 1.3 million is being spent in town. And then the rest is spent, in other suburbs outside of Evanston, and then there are even other states. So myself, Alderman Simmons, the members of our committee and staff have really been focused at looking at that functional spend, Alderman Rainey. So it's like, where are we spending money as a City of Evanston staff? So we've looked at printing, contracting services, IT services, et cetera, and how do we redirect that in a responsible way that has an impact on our local businesses? So myself, Alderman Simmons, we definitely pay attention to the diversity, but I hope I'm speaking for both of us when I say our primary focus is really the Evanston-based businesses. And so this effort, it comes from the funds that we've collected. I compare the LEPs similar to somebody who blows by a stop sign. And so there are very clear rules. Thank you very much, Dave Stonebeck, for providing the documentation that all of our contractors have to submit in order to get a waiver. And for those that break the rules, just like running past a stop sign, there's a penalty involved. And so those funds are somewhere around almost $80,000. And the nice thing is with those funds, I love talking about this, and that is our compliancy rate has gone up as well. And so one of the wonderful things, I think it was Alderman, in fact, I know it was Alderman Rue's recommendation, is we now can pay for Evanston residents to, what is it, the police, fire.
Right. So we, two things, we expanded it to include union dues and firefighter fees to pursue that as a career path. They're testing. So that fund, we are using $5,000 or hoping to get support to use $5,000 of those collected fees to work with a company to come up with a product that we can use to better manage getting the opportunities to the local businesses. And it will kind of catalog the local businesses and talk between the business community and the city and the purchasing department about opportunities that are available. So that's the hope for the product, and I think that it'll help us. It'll help us along the way.
Well, that's great. That's a lot of fancy footwork, but these are hardcore jobs, and I want to see people getting these jobs. I mean, they're spending millions of dollars tonight. Mm-hmm. There are jobs there.
Yes.
There's no reason why there aren't Evanston people who, and I know these companies have regular employees, but they can slip one of our guys in those
They
jobs.
do, or we find them.
I know, but they're,
But I think you raise a good issue, and I mean, clearly tonight you have
I'm not willing to take everybody's word for the fact that we've got, I think we need to be more diligent.
So part of the driving force behind this, and as this is something that you supported last year, is that we increased the penalty fee from $500 a day to 1%, and the impact of that decision is now paying future dividends in that we have more money to impact our residents, and the compliancy component is working. And just like tonight, it was a $900,000 bill, and we're paying attention to it. And the nice thing is, our staff is as well. But I would definitely, following up with what Alderman Simmons shared, they've come out to my meeting. We've hosted meetings. Maybe they come to one of your meetings, like our staff, to share. I mean, we can't do enough to promote this. And the other thing that I'll end on, just in the interest of time, our LEP numbers are down. So the folks that are on that list and taking advantage of it, we are constantly refreshing the effort to find more people. So send them our way.
At your meeting. Staff. Sharon Johnson does a great job.
All right, that was fantastic items for discussion. Are there any communications? No communications. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Planning and Development will start in 5 to 10 minutes? 5 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes. Thank you, Chair Rizal. All right.